Spencer Powers.
Man, that guy is awesome. When I was doing the alto character, we had a match that consisted of him doing nothing but getting me in abdominal stretches. And it was awesome, man. Like, every single move I did, he'd catch me in an abdominal stretch, and that was the finish of the match. But we must have had like 10 different reversals. And, like, you know, I'd get out and I'd do some moonsault stuff, and he'd catch me. And he's a guy that knows how to differentiate himself. You know, he has a purple gear at 1. It's like, okay, you notice him right off the bat. He's really flashy. He interacts with the crowd. Not too much to comment on his work rate. You know, good solid worker, knows what he's doing in the ring. And but you remember Spotlight, Spencer Powers. One, the name sticks out, the gear sticks out, and he's the guy that, you know, I'm not saying he'll make it big either or anything like that, but I'm saying he's the guy that you'll remember when you leave a show. Yep,
I 100% agree. He's fun to work. Crowd remembers him.
Catalyst Corey Carter. Easy for me to say.
Tripsy.
Well, one of the biggest heat magnets I've ever seen. Like, he gets easy heat, man. The shut your face. I mean, it's funny because it comes out of nowhere. Literally, like, there'll be a fan just jaw jacking, like, oh, here it comes, and he won't do it, and then it'll be like dead quiet, and he'll just say it then, you know. And it's great. And I hate his tights though. I hate his tights, man. Yeah, I just hate those tights, and I guess those are
the same tights for like several years.
Yeah,
now,
and I think he gets heel heat because of those tights. Because I hate those tights, man. But that's another guy that's really solid, and he has such a bland look, but he differentiates himself again. You know, he has a shut your face thing, and he's like the legit, like, pissed off, like, I'll get in the fan's face, but then play the coward role in the ring. And I think he does a great job in what he does, and running a show and being a wrestler is like no joke. So props to him.
He's a great heel. He's the person who, I mean, he's got a really bad back. If that didn't hamper him in his in-ring style,
I dropped him on his head once too, so that didn't help at all.
You know, if the back didn't hamper his in-ring style and maybe, you know, getting in the gym and cardio, he could be higher than he is now. But yeah.
But awesome deal with Bobby Houston right now.
Yeah, he gets, I mean, great heat. He gets booed out of the building. Some people say it's X-Pac heat.
It's X-Pac heat, I'll say it.
Yeah.
Let's explain what X-Pac heat is.
When people really actually don't like you.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
but as long as they're paying to get into the shows, really doesn't matter if you like me or, you know, like him or not.
Cat or Miller experienced that.
Right, so.
Right. Kyle Rich.
Oh, I guess I'll take this one.
That guy is.
That guy's garbage. No, Kyle Rich is, man. He chops really hard. He's a guy that you get excited to work with because you know it's a good match right away. You see you're working Kyle Rich. One, you know you're not going to be opening the show, and then you know you're not going to have a bad match. So that's a good thing.
Chances are you'll be the match right before intermission because that's always my match. I'm the king of before intermission.
Which is a great spot because that spot means you're hot. Your match is so hot that we have to cool the fans down before we. That's what if you guys don't know, if you're placed before intermission, that means you're doing the damn thing.
Hogan used to wrestle that match during Hulkamania a lot.
Yeah, you know, and that's what it is. It's just like let's get the crowds riled up, and then they want to go buy your merchandise, and they want to go buy food, and then let them settle down, then go back. And that's a good spot. And I've worked Kyle. Like I really wish that we had a longer feud, but we didn't. But now we got this tag thing going, so I'm really excited about that. And the guy is phenomenal, and I'm really proud to call him a friend. And I really value his opinion and what he does. And it's not just because he's sitting next to me. It's really not. I legit I respect the guy. When I was going through a lot of personal stuff with my dad and family and whatnot, him and Gilbert Lewis and a lot of the guys really kept me grounded. And I mean, I almost quit. I don't know how many times, but thanks, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. I love you, man.
Hybrids.
They've worked Elite Pro and
Yeah, man, the hybrids, man, bro, like they put so much into a match, and they do so much in a match that they're treating themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they do so, like, I'm not dodging the spots, do the cool spots, but they do so much. Like they're a legit tag team, by the way. They hit the moveset. Yeah, they're awesome.
Matching
the whole
gear.
Yeah, the whole gory special into lungblower, that's awesome stuff. You know, I want to steal it and everything, but
We
the thing
did
is,
steal that once in
Did we?
Chicago. Yeah.
oh, we probably stole it. Sorry, guys. But the thing is, they do so much in one match that they're just screwing themselves. Because, like, the fans, I'm not saying the fans are idiots, but they can only comprehend so much. When you're doing 20 million things at once, it loses its value, you know? But if they kept, like, 3 or 4 really cool stuff and they did that, I guarantee they get a 10 times bigger pop, you know? It's like Vito and Sal tell me, you gotta plan your match like a roller coaster. You can't do this the whole match, because then the fans just get drained out of it. It's not exciting. You gotta build up, do a cool move, then a cooler move, then build up. Once you hit that big cool move, that's when you go to the finish, you know? And I don't think they understand that concept, but they got a great look, they got awesome gear, really friendly, professional guys, and they're guys that can make it. I really believe they can do. I think they just hooked up with HWA now and Les Thatcher, so awesome with them, dude. They're gonna get hooked up, and
I don't
they're
think
gonna
Les Thatcher's
Yeah,
associated
he's not-
with it.
He's not with
Yeah,
them?
he's
He's
not
not with
one
them
of
anymore.
them.
Yeah.
Well, poor Les Thatcher.
retired.
He missed out. No, but the hybrids are guys that'll take off. I have no doubt about that. But I just really hope they grab that concept of you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket.
Let's pick another name at random because we gotta get to the Chicago versus downstate thing. Tim Lyle. Man, he's a lightning rod, isn't he?
I don't know the guy.
Tim, Toby Hope would really like to hear what I got to say about that, I'm sure.
Keep it brief though.
I really got nothing to say about Tim Lyle. I heard his activities aren't that respectable, so I don't work for him anymore.
Okay.
Okay. I really do want to know the next two. Danny Scott in relation to MSPW.
Yeah. Are you talking about the MSPW drama that unfolded, or just?
I don't know anything
Well,
about that. so-
SBW is no longer running.
Yeah, that's by his choice. The guy was super cool with me. He knows what he's doing in the ring, but he made some promises that really affected me and kind of screwed me out of some stuff. So cool.
You can say screwed you out of money.
Yeah. I can
Yeah,
say.
Brett Kakia was the very last MSPW heavyweight.
Yeah, you know, and like I had an offer to jump to AEW or stick with MSPW, and I decided to play the loyal card, which, I mean, I'm not sounding negative either, but guys, like, don't play the loyal card anymore. Just look out for yourselves, because you get screwed way too many times, man. And I decided to be loyal and got nothing in return, which is cool. Whatever. I moved on, but the guy's cool, but just don't really got an opinion about him right now.
Guy I kind of consider a Chicago legend, Derek St. Holmes.
We had the best feud ever. The finish to one of our matches was me eating a banana, dropping in the middle of the ring, and him slipping on it. Like, the guy is so old school, and he'll teach you. Derek taught me. He taught me a lot. He's the one that taught me don't put all your eggs in one basket, you know. That was him. The guy's super friendly in the back, one of the best guys to work with, unbelievably light in the ring, a true pro, and I respect the hell out of the guy.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that looks like he's gonna kill you in the ring.
Yeah, you know.
And when he swings, you're thinking, oh no,
This is gonna
and
suck. Yeah.
it's light as a feather. He's
Right.
great.
I keep writing on his MySpace, go retire.
Yeah, he's
We'll just do two more. Dingo.
The guy's tearing it up. IWA Mid-South heavyweight champion. I had the pleasure of working him in December one-on-one, and then a fatal four-way, and that guy's not very light. He's very he likes to hit, and this is a cool guy, and I think he's another guy that if he just keeps doing what he's doing, he's gonna be a star, man. So
yeah, he's doing a lot of things right and not a whole lot wrong. So he's
Alto.
that guy.
that guy
threw that one on the
sucks,
list.
man. That guy sucked. I'll answer that one. That guy sucked. He was a flippity doodah kid that wore a mask and didn't get a push, and he didn't deserve it because he's a flippy
Yeah,
guy.
talk about an ego. That guy.
That kid had an ego.
He thought he was God's gift to cruiserweight wrestling.
Actually, I'll throw
He
this
was.
one more in there. Eric Priest, since tonight's his today that we should take the show,
Yeah.
he's retiring.
That is a shame, because that is
Right on.
one guy that he taught me more about wrestling in a 3-hour time span than I ever learned about wrestling. I mean, and I'm not talking about moves, I'm talking about putting a match together, transitions, stuff like that. I mean, he's a guy that he should be at the top level. You should be able to watch him every Monday, Tuesday, or Friday. For whatever reason, yeah.
Yeah, I had to talk to him last week actually, and just wanted to send him off and say that he's a class act, and he was at King of the Cruiserweights, and he pulled me aside. He's like, "Hey, do you mind if I tell you something real quick?" I'm like, "Yeah, not at all." And he's like, "Your whip offs suck, man," and he showed me how to, how he would whip someone off. So I stole that from him, and the guy's super cool, real. I mean, I don't think he's ever had a problem with anyone. Real true pro.
Yeah.
Real professional in the back. Doesn't have an ego at all. Not like that Alto kid.
Yeah.
And best wishes to you, man. Like, do your thing. I hope you're happy with whatever you do.
Yeah, it's a shame that he's retiring because the wrestling world would be a whole lot better with more people like Eric Priest.
But we got people like Kyle Rich.
Yeah. We're being serious right now, though.
No. Kill the sentimental moment.
Yeah, but no, Eric Priest, hopefully, you heal up, you get the itch back, and you come back and teach more guys.
I'd like to transition into the Chicago portion of the show by saying you can listen to Chicago's premier radio show, rumbleradioonline.com. If you download the July 8th show, that has an Eric Priest interview on it, and if you want to know more about why Eric Priest has decided to hang up the boots, listen to that show. It's available online now.
It's a good listen too. They're good guys.
I better download that.
Yeah, Joey Eastman and PJ Drummond were also in this studio on this episode. Really fun episode.
It's got to be a good one if PJ and Joey are on it, man.
So, moving to Chicago, why do you think that Central Illinois wrestling gets a bad reputation from upstate Chicago wrestling?
You can extend it all the way down to Southern Illinois and St. Louis if you want.
I think I can give the biggest answer to this. Look around Central Illinois and even downstate Illinois and find me a Keith Walker, an Eric Priest, Tyler Black, an Egotistico Fantastico.
That work the way these guys do and look the way these guys do.
Yeah, right. You could take everybody on a single show roster from downstate Illinois and they still wouldn't have as much muscle mass as any of those guys I just named. You got to look, and this coming from me who doesn't look the part, but
we're not saying we do it, but we're saying we know it.
Yeah. You gotta look the part to bring the fans in. I mean, fans come to wrestling shows to suspend their disbelief. And it's hard when the guys in the ring look like the guys sitting next to you.
They're simply more marketable, man. Every single person in the audience isn't there because they like wrestling. Some girls come because they think Eric Priest and Tyler Black are hot. It's a given, man. Like, what do? You got a good-looking guy. He's your baby face. Push him. It's really simple stuff like that, man. The guys are more marketable. They look like wrestlers.
Right.
They look like wrestlers. And then to answer your question, why guys are more over there. Just look up the guys that WWE's picking up, Punk, Cabana, like these are Chicago guys, like what downstate guys got picked up over there. Like when you have a rep as being like the mecca of like your state, that Chicago just got that label. So downstate guys want to get exposure, jump your butt in the car, make the 3-hour drive. It's only a 3-hour drive,
Conversely, would you recommend a brand new Chicago talent maybe get some seasoning downstate?
Yeah, that's what I did. I mean, that's what I came in here. What's the first? I've been here for a while. Yeah, I broke in. I broke in '02, and that's when I started. And I came down here, and I got this. I use downstate Illinois as my lab rat, basically. I don't mean to downplay it, but I tried all my crazy cool stuff here. If it got over, I did the following week in Chicago, And if it didn't get over here, I didn't even try in Chicago, And I don't see that there's a bunch of promotions down here, and like Chicago, there's a bunch of promotions up there, and it's to the point where like the roster's so built, we don't have any more room for people because everyone wants to be a wrestler now. So I'd always suggest guys go downstate, man. It's a 2.5. Yeah, gas sucks, but if you want it, you want it. Go get the work.
There's stuff in St. Louis, and
Yeah, just branch out, man. It's not that bad as people think. I wouldn't have met Kyle unless I come in. I wouldn't have met like half these cool guys, so.
Do you think the Chicago versus downstate mentality in politics kind of plays into the wrestling business?
Politics are anywhere, man.
Politics are anywhere?
Anywhere, man. You work Canada, you work California, you work New York, you work Illinois. Politics are there. So I don't know why people think there's politics and separate scenes. There's politics. If it's wrestling, there's politics involved.
Yeah, if you take, all right, if I send a tape somewhere, doesn't matter where it's at, if they like it, they're gonna bring me in. I mean, that's.
Or if you know someone in there, they'll bring you.
Exactly.
It's all who you know and.
Yeah, unless you got someone like Prince Ali who you ask, hey, can you get me booked somewhere, and then he's just like, never answers you. So it's.
I try, man.
Yeah, you can edit that out if you want to.
That's fine.
Edit that out.
Just to boost Central Illinois wrestling, would you say the best Central Illinois promotions are better than the worst Chicago promotions?
Yes. I mean, that's a given. It's not like, hey, you suck because you're a Central Illinois guy. That mentality doesn't exist, really. I think it's kind of like a myth. It doesn't really exist. There's some really crappy promotions out there. PCW sucks. Vanguard, I don't like at all. Wicked sucks.
I drove 2 hours to go to Wicked.
Yeah, and I don't know why you did that. And God bless the guys for going out there and putting on a show. But if it sucks, man. That's all it is. And NGW is awesome. New Midwest does the thing. I didn't get to catch a New Breed show. I hear good stuff. I didn't get to catch it. So.
Why do you think it is that certain promotions in Chicago are nationally reported on by the internet community and the dirt sheets, while others are not even given their product, even though their product may be better, don't even get mentioned? They have larger crowds, put on better shows, and they don't even get mentioned.
It's usually because those smaller, worse, the feds that you're talking about have people that report it to the sites.
Right.
And that's really the only reason. I mean unless you get somebody that's on a national scale. Obviously AAW gets promoted. I mean, they, got the
Meltzer
best.
just now mentioned them, though, in the Observer.
No, it's that, like, Chicago guys get nationally reported because Chicago guys have gone on to do national things. It's the same thing tied on. Like, Central Illinois hasn't produced a big star that I know of. If I'm wrong, correct me. I don't know of any guy that's working ROH or working Dragon Gate, working anybody that matters, that really matters. No one's doing it. Chicago guys, Punk, Cabana, Priest, Ace Steel, like, there's Chicago guys that have gone on and done something on a national level. That's all it is. You do something national, you get national exposure.
Mm-hmm. Any other factors that play into the Chicago being more over than Central Illinois? Trainers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Trainers and established feds. Like, I don't know when NGW opened up. I don't know when New Breed started and JAW and all that stuff. But Chicago wrestling's been out
5 years.
Yeah, Chicago wrestling's been around a little longer. It's more established. There's more established trainers and guys there.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Absolutely. Training for wrestling. There's people all over that shouldn't be trainers. I mean, you got guys in Central Illinois that are training wrestlers that didn't do anything themselves, so what gives them the right to be a trainer other than they bought a ring? I mean, that's really all there is to it. I mean, and then you see their product or their, the people that they've trained, and,
That's my gas. If you guys
just as a comparison, there's a film teacher at a community college in Decatur. He was taught by a guy who was taught by an Academy Award-winning director, but this third guy who was taught by that guy is not that good at all. So.
Yeah.
It just goes. You gotta go to the right spot. Get trained by the right people.
Right.
That's
going with what you said, I mean, all right, Danny Daniels trained Merrick Brave, and Tyler Black, and Shane Hollister, and all kinds of people. But Merrick Brave is someone that, when I've wrestled at SCW, a lot of times he's taken the time to watch my matches, and when I come back, he's, given me the advice that he learned from Danny, which has helped me a lot. And, he did that without me ever asking him to do it. So he, either saw something in me or was bored or something. I don't know, but he did it for whatever reason, and I appreciate it. And, that's a symbol of someone who was trained by a reputable, good trainer and took that and is trying to give it back to other people, where a lot of trainers in Central Illinois don't have that ability because they shouldn't be training wrestlers in the first place.
Any more questions, Crime Fighter?
What do you know about the St. Louis wrestling scene?
Damn thing. Dingo's from there, right?
Yep.
That's all I need to know.
Dingo, Seidel, Delirious, all came.
Yeah. Seidel, Delirious, Daisy. They're actually coming to an Elite Pro show in August. Check that out.
Yeah, I mean, I know LWA seems by the internet the top fed down that way.
Not necessarily the top
it's
draw.
South Broadway, though.
Well, yeah, but
Attendance-wise.
I'm
Shut up,
I'm sorry, I don't really know anything about them.
Well, that goes to my point where, like sometimes IWA, when they're putting the best shows on in the area, they draw 50 people. Where
Yeah, man.
not to down Windy City Pro, but I
The
don't think
last
their shows are
IWA,
as good.
the last this is Ian Ron's exact words in the locker room. I mean, I hope I don't get heat for saying this out here, but he said he's straight shooting. He's like, Connie and Delirious, Punk, all these guys. He's like, I have the most talented locker room right now, dude. I don't know if you guys are familiar with guys like Jason Quick, Jason Hayes. Like these guys tear it up. Like Jason Quick can do a double shooting star press, to the outside, and it freaked me out when he did it. Like I had to catch him, of course, and it freaked me out, you know. And like the talent level that was there is unbelievable. Like you just look at the locker room, we had the craziest talent there, and it only drew 55 or 65 people. But the crowd will react to that. They knew there was a low draw, so they gave like everyone a standing ovation. They're really into the match, you know. Like just because you have the best, I mean, it could be that Ian runs twice a month. I don't know.
I think it's also a lot with in past times IWA has had a problem with
keeping
talent showing up,
right,
or I know they've had a lot of times where they've had to change a show date in the last week because you know
it happens. There's something going on out there because we had an awesome show. Then that poor unfortunate incident happened with Mickey where she just snapped her leg. And, I mean, I remember seeing that. We just freaked out and we're like, so I mean, I hope things turn around at IWA because I mean the talent level there is just crazy.
Yeah, that's for myself personally. IWA is my goal because I like a big mix of wrestling. I like hardcore, I like death matches, I like strong style, I like technical, I like funny,
flippy,
and flippy.
Just watch out for Canada Deathmatch.
Yeah, and IWA offers all of that. I think most, it may not draw because people think it's just a deathmatch fed, and that's not at all true. They do death matches, but they're usually the last thing on the card. So if you don't like that, watch the other
2 hours of show.
Usually their shows are about 12 hours long. So
no, we're good on that now. We're good on that. I swear to God, we're good on time now. I swear to God.
Real quick, your thoughts on Milwaukee and the Indianapolis Independence?
Dysfunction's fed. Insane Championship Wrestling is just running Milwaukee and Wisconsin right now. To me, they're the top promotion out there. I worked for Frankie DeFalco before for Bruce City. I mean, nice place. Doesn't draw that well. Anytime I've been to Insane Championship Wrestling, the place is packed. People are drunk. So I mean, it's a really intimate, close environment. He has awesome talent. He has Drake Younger, Ego, Silas, like all these awesome guys work this show. So this Milwaukee's this ICW right now to me.
Indianapolis has got a lot of good talent. They're starting to become kind of like Chicago, where you see a new Fed pop up about every other week. There's IPW. Drake Younger, Billy Rock. Unfortunately, Billy Rock just suffered a pretty,
Osiris,
pretty.
400
I was supposed to wrestle that guy. Thank God I didn't show up to that show.
Ohio's got some really good stuff with Hybrid Pro and Cleveland All Pro or something like that. There's all kinds of good wrestling within a 7-8 hour drive. That if wrestlers want to get better, they need to try to work there. Or if fans want to see good wrestling. I mean, there's plenty of wrestling to see. It's not hard to suspend your disbelief for a few minutes. If you're a wrestling fan, you pay your money, enjoy the show, and
go home.
Fans that come just to cheer the bad guys or point out mistakes really irritate me. cheer, shut up, pay your $10. Don't ruin the show for everybody else that pay their $10 to enjoy a wrestling show.
Got one more question, Moby?
I don't think we can edit this one in back because I don't think we got to this. Do you think along that lines, I guess we don't even have to, because along that lines, do you think certain smart marks, dedicated fans cross the line, particularly us, as being, when they talk about wrestling the way they do?
Yeah and no. You're a fan, you're entitled to your opinion. But if I turn on a smart mark show and I see people commenting on like work rate and like, oh, this guy, unless you're in the ring, unless you're doing the dance, you have no idea what's going on. I don't care how long you've been watching wrestling. You can watch wrestling for 20 years. You don't have a damn idea what is going on.
But do you have to, really?
Yeah, the thing is you don't have to, but then if you don't understand what's going on, what makes you have the right or even fathom the thought that you know what's going on in the ring? Because you don't know what's going on in the ring. I could be putting on a great show right now and having this guy just whip me all around the ring and have him hit all his cool moves. Like, let's say I'm working Brett. Brett's whipping me around the ring. You guys are like, Brett's phenomenal. Who's carrying Brett? Who's popping Brett up together? Who's positioning Brett? Let's say Brett blew his spot. Who covered up for Brett? You guys, you won't know that because I'm doing my job to not let you see that. I'm glorifying Brett right now, and that's the point. I love Brett, but then if I switch on the show and I hear that other guy doesn't work well, it wasn't the other guy. It was Brett that was messing up. He's covering for him, and that's the thing. It's not a diss on you guys particularly. It's not a diss on anybody, but it's just like you can't. You can state your opinion, but don't make it sound like a fact.
Right.
That irritates me when fans are like, no, that guy sucks. It's like, how do you know that guy? Like, you could tell a bad wrestler. You guys can tell a bad wrestler. I'm not saying you guys can't tell a bad wrestler, but don't put a guy over another guy when you have no idea, when it's a complicated match like that.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if I'm sounding a little confusing here, but it makes sense in my head. That's all that matters.
If you've watched wrestling for 20 years and didn't learn a thing, that makes you the dumbest person on the planet.
No, you can watch 20 wrestling years, but my whole point is you still can't act like I know what's going on in the ring, because you don't. Unless you lace up the boots, unless you do the training, unless you're in a match with me or Kyle, with somebody, you're in that ring in front of a live audience, you have no idea what you're talking about. That's a fact.
I agree.
All right. Well, I guess that's it.
For Chris Lee and Crime Fighter, I'm the Mystic Order of Arachnid Vigilance, member 5706, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Bye, everybody.